Hey, what's going on, friends, family, legendary marketers from all around the world? This is Dave Sharpe, and I'm thrilled and excited to have the guest that I have on this morning. This guy is a fantastic marketer, and we're going to learn a lot about how he's come up with his content strategy, built a YouTube channel. If you want to create content and wondering, how do I start with YouTube? How do I build a channel that reaches 100,000 subscribers? We're going to talk about all of those things today. If you are just seeing this or just waking up, drop a comment, okay? Let us know that you're alive. Let us know that you're a part of the community, you're tuning in, and hit the share button. You know, there is somebody out there who needs to hear this, is like looking for good, solid information. And now's a better time than ever to start a business online. And whether that's affiliate marketing, whether that's building your own courses, coaching, running events, even if those events have to be virtual for right now, that's exactly what we talk about and teach. None of these fly-by-night, flash-in-the-pan business models that are here today, gone tomorrow. And so with that being said, we've got, like I said, a great guest. We're going to just jump into this right away. So without further ado, let me get my technology right. Here we go. Oh, I got to change the name here. You're not Alex. You're Ryan. What up, man?
How's it going?
Good, good. Your last name is Hildreth, right?
Yep.
Awesome, dude. Got your name right now. Okay. Get your game together, Dave. So, dude, hello. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, so let's talk about you. They hear enough about me all the time. Let's talk about you. So,
sure.
First and foremost, what do you consider yourself, man? What do you even call yourself? Are you a YouTuber? Are you an affiliate marketer? How would you, if I was your girlfriend, I don't know if you're married or not, but if I was, okay, so pretend I'm your wife's dad. We just met.
Yeah.
So, Ryan, what do you do?
That's such a hard one to say because I do so many different things on the internet. So usually my wife just says like, "Oh, he does marketing." You know, that's kind of the broad term.
Yeah.
You know, I'm an internet marketer, but you know, there's so many different things that I do, right? I have a YouTube channel, I do affiliate marketing. You know, there's so many different things I do on the internet, but I would just say internet marketer. I mean, that's kind of the broad term of like what I do. I put out content and I teach people, you know, how to do what they want to do, live the dream life. And that's kind of what I wanted to do when I got into this.
Yeah.
So,
did you have a clear picture when you first got started what you would be doing now? Did you have an absolute clear vision, or did that crystallize over time?
Oh, it definitely, I still don't think that it's fully clear. I think, you know, we're constantly developing, constantly improving. And, but I think my vision now is definitely a lot clearer than when I first started.
Yeah.
When I first started, it was kind of just throwing darts everywhere and, you know, just seeing what stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And, but that's kind of, you know, how it starts, I think, for everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
So let's talk about some of your creds here for a second. You've pushed quite a bit of traffic to our products as an affiliate, and you've done really well. I can see you moving up the ranks and achieving everything that's possible to achieve with us. That's in the not so distant future. But you've also got a YouTube channel that has how many subscribers on it?
155,000.
Okay, so you've got a YouTube channel, and that's basically your primary content strategy. Do you play around on Instagram, Facebook, or are you primarily just focused on YouTube?
So I used to do a little bit of everything, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. But I really figured out that just focusing on one to maybe two different platforms and just really honing in on those, you know, has worked for me. I recently got onto TikTok, and that's something I haven't really talked about. But you know, in the past 2 months, I blew that up from 0 to 150,000. So
150,000 followers on TikTok?
yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, that's something I haven't introduced that to my YouTube channel or really told anyone like that I'm on TikTok, because I wanted to like come up with proof of concept and make sure that it works. But I mean, TikTok is great as well. So,
That's interesting. We're releasing a TikTok product today.
oh, nice,
A new funnel, a new front end funnel for TikTok.
perfect.
It's going to be a
I guess
dollar.
so.
It's going to be $1 front end offer. So
Okay.
yeah, it'll be pretty slick. Maybe we'll have to do an interview with you and then get you up on the sales page. Go from 4 to 5 dudes. You know what's interesting about TikTok is that the more time goes on, the more people I talk to are like, "Oh yeah, I've got, a TikTok account. I'm,
Yeah.
doing, I mean, there's a lady in our group, Linda Bamba, who's doing 100 to 150 leads a day. And I mean,
Wow.
she doesn't have any, the cool thing about TikTok, and I don't want to get too off on TikTok, but the cool thing
Yeah.
about TikTok is that you can if your content goes viral, you show up on people's For You page because their news feed is different. You see content that TikTok puts in front of you and you see the content that you're following. So
Yep.
if you can put content that goes sort of viral and goes on that For You page, you can generate leads without even having followers.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I think I compare it to Instagram 2012, because I remember when I first started Instagram and I was like, man, how did these people have like a million followers, But I wasn't on there for marketing purposes. I was on there just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish, everyone wishes they could go back in time.
Yeah.
But TikTok is kind of that for me,
Yeah.
for everyone really. So
Wow, 150,000 subscribers on TikTok. That just kind of blows all of the so are you able to track your traffic flow or lead flow from TikTok? Do you have a specific funnel that you're sending people to be able to track the amount of traffic that you're getting from that versus your YouTube channel?
So I do now. But all the way up until about 130,000 followers, I didn't put a link in my bio,
Yeah.
because I was focusing on getting those people to my YouTube channel. That's all I had. I didn't even link Instagram. I just linked YouTube, and I said, click here to watch the full tutorial on
Right.
my YouTube
Right.
channel, so I
Right.
could
Right.
build a, deeper relationship. And that was my strategy at first. But then I'm like, you know what? I'll throw the link in there and see what happens. And yeah, a few hundred, like I'm generating about 500 to 600 leads a day now just from TikTok.
You gotta be kidding me, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just when we think that the internet has no more opportunity, like over the past year, Facebook ads has been all the rave. Now, of course, you've been tapping into organic traffic, which
Yeah.
is, have you ever even tried any paid advertising?
Yeah, so all of 2019, like up until I started with Legendary, I was doing paid traffic because I told myself, oh, I just want to step away from YouTube and see if I could just do the paid traffic. And I found a method, but it was, it's so difficult with Facebook because, shutting down ad accounts, shutting down business managers. I was going through business managers like it was, hotcakes. It was just going through them, and it just wasn't sustainable. So I decided, let's just hop back on the YouTube and push out daily videos, or five to six times a week, and see what happens. So,
So
yeah.
let's get an idea of timelines here, because it sounds like you weren't really focused on, you got either focused or refocused on YouTube after you got involved with us.
Yep.
Let's talk about the timelines, because the reason why I want to do this is just to give people an idea of realistic expectations. And of course, Ryan's results, you may not get the same results. I don't want to guarantee results, but it does sound like you've been able to create some pretty big accounts fairly fast, if I'm picking up what you're putting down accurately. So
Yeah.
let's go back into timelines in terms of your YouTube channel.
Okay.
When did you start it? And then did you start it and then stop? And then when you got involved with Legendary, you started to refocus back on it. Is that what happened?
Yeah, that's basically what happened. I started my channel back in January of 2017. That's
Okay.
when I started uploading content. I was getting into the social media space, marketing
So
space.
just over 3 years ago.
Yep, about 3 years ago.
Okay. And then what happened?
I got up to about, I would say 90,000 subs. And that's kind of when I was doing, like, my content was so all over the place. Like, I was doing so many different things, and I needed to kind of refocus in my life and my business and really find a clear path of kind of what I wanted to stick to and get really, really good at.
Mm-hmm.
And that was affiliate marketing, because that's something that always worked from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing social media marketing, affiliate marketing, all these other stuff. And affiliate marketing was one that was always producing results for me, but I always put it on the back burner.
You never really surrendered to it, right?
Yeah.
You wanted to go. Now, when you got distracted, when you said social media, were you going and you were like, okay, I'm going to take things to the next level. I'm going to create my own products, or I'm going to start an agency. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, so I started an agency at first. That was the first business venture that I really, when I quit college, dropped out of college, quit my job, and I was like, I'm going to go full thing with social media marketing. But at the same time, I created my own digital products, teaching how to do, Facebook ads, marketing for businesses. Mm-hmm. And after that, I noticed, like, I had success with that, but I noticed that I couldn't do it on my own. Mm-hmm. Like, I didn't have the infrastructure like Legendary does to really service my customers and all that. So that's when I dropped, my digital products. I said, you know what, like, I need to drop these and really focus on something, affiliate marketing with Legendary, something that is more long-term. Yeah. Because for me, having my own digital products, and I think people just have to really be clear on what they want.
Right.
For me, I didn't want to have to, like, build out a support team or do the customer service myself, or, doing the media buying, all this different stuff. I said, how can I partner with someone out there, and just focus on what I'm good at, is marketing.
Yeah.
And that's when I found Legendary.
So so what's the time period that you built it up to 90 subs, and then did you stop creating content on your YouTube channel for a period of time?
I built it up to 90K subs around 2018, the beginning. So in 1 year, from 2017 to 2018, I grew pretty fast.
Wow.
And then I would say from mid 2018 to 2019 is when I wasn't producing as much content. I was still putting out videos here and there, but just not focused, focused. Yeah. I was doing other things, personal life, this and that. But then I just kind of came to a clear vision of, like, I need to get back on track, and that's kind of how everything fell into place.
Well, I think also it's like, well, I got this asset here. Why am I not cultivating it? And I think there's the principle that applies to both of these stories that you've just told. One being the distraction with the business models, and or lack of clarity with the business models, and then lack of clarity with what my overall business strategy or marketing strategy is. And it just boils down to maturing and growing up, and right, because we grow up in this thing. I mean, it's just kind of like realizing, it's kind of like being married, right? It's like, you know what, and I read an interesting story about, I think it was Wilt Chamberlain, who was very well known for his promiscuous behavior. And if you go and read, he supposedly slept with 10,000 women. Okay. Oh. So, I mean, we're talking about on another level of wholeness, but he, and this is even quoted in his Wikipedia page, he said at the end of his life, he would have traded all that to just be with one woman.
It's powerful.
You know what I mean? And here's a guy who's gotten more, than any other guy on the planet. I mean, for the most part. I mean, that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? That's a lot of hours. That's a lot of people that you're going through. And, there's a lot of guys who dream of that. But at the end of the day, his final last resting wish was, I would have traded all that to just spend all those years with one special person. And that's a maturing. I view that as sort of a growing up, a maturing, and I think that when we are in, starting a business, that same process happens. We've got all these different things, that these different pools that we want to play in, these different, we want to get a little bit of this, we want to get a little bit of that, we want to get a little bit of that, and it's that lack of focus, that starting and restarting, is usually the thing that slows down all of our growth, and whether that's the focus or the lack of focus on a specific business model or the lack of focus on a specific marketing strategy, there's always going to be, it's possible to grow a YouTube channel and 90,000 subs in 1 year. He did it. That's a great inspirational story. It's also, though, I think if Ryan can get distracted with a 90,000 subscriber YouTube channel, then do you think that you're not subject to getting distraction when nobody watches your content for 3 to 6 months? Because that's actually very normal as well, to not have any momentum for 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months.
Definitely.
So let's talk a little bit about, what is working for you and how you approach your business now. You've obviously said, hey, look, I want to do affiliate marketing. And by the way, affiliate marketing, whether you're doing affiliate marketing, whether you're serving a specific niche in creating a some sort of a course or a coaching program, or a hybrid to where you're teaching your information on a webinar, and you're just selling that as a course to where you don't have to create the course. You're actually selling it before you actually create it, which is another great way to sell information. I still stand by the core 4 business models that we teach, which is affiliate marketing, coaching, courses, or events, because information has a infinite amount of value to the person that needs it, versus I can only sell this hat for $20. And if I sell it for more than that, people are going to be like, that's not worth it. So I'd have to sell millions of them to make millions of dollars, to where I don't have to do that with higher ticket education products. So I do still stand by that business model, and we're going to have a guest on that does e-com tomorrow, but it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. It's Everybody has to find their niche, but for you, you said, look, affiliate marketing, I'm going to just focus on content creation and building an audience, right? That's the kind of idea that you came to, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
just because, like, for me, I think I think affiliate marketing, the blessing of it is that it gives you that time freedom. You can create the content and then generate sales while, you're doing whatever, on a jog, at the gym, with your wife, So I think that's kind of what I wanted. I had to identify what I wanted out of life and how much I wanted to be working too. We got to be honest with ourselves. And affiliate marketing is something that, for me personally, I don't have to spend, hours upon hours every single day, doing actively. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of something that I wanted to do. But as far as the content creation, that takes time. Obviously that takes time.
So let's look at your week. Like, now that you've kind of sort of, I guess, clarified, simplified, and synthesized all this information that you've gained over the years, to hopefully achieve as much time freedom as possible, like not sitting in front of your computer for unneeded hours, right? That's the worst, Okay, it's Sunday. Now let's just hypothetically say it's Sunday. Does every week look the same for you when you're creating content and you're coming up with ideas, or do you let yourself be more of a free spirit? I want to get an idea of what a week looks like for Ryan Hildreth.
Yeah, for me, I'm pretty structured on how I do things, because I notice if I don't have a structure, I'm just kind of all over the place. Mm-hmm. For the past all of April, I uploaded a YouTube video every single day. And I told myself, okay, I'm just going to do this for a year straight.
Wow.
So if I wanted to do that, I had to create structure. So every day kind of looks the same for me, except for on the weekends. Sunday I hung out with my parents and my wife the whole day, and I didn't work not one bit. But come Monday, that's kind of, I wake up before this whole thing's happening, the pandemic and everything, I was, I'd wake up 5:45, I'd hit the gym and I'd start work around 8:30, 9 o'clock. And I work usually, normal hours, like 9 to 5, because that's when my wife is done with work.
Yeah.
That's kind of when I cut off my work.
It's kind of funny that we, ditch the 9 to 5. And then when we actually get serious and create a real business, it's like we're back to work at 9 to 5,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's kind of funny, it's kind of fascinating. I come into an office and granted the office is by my house. It's not far away. It's nobody else is here. I get to the whole thing, I've got this huge studio and all this kind of stuff, but I'm working kind of, and I love it. I love it because it's like I've made a commitment to my wife. I'm going to be home. We have a 4-year-old. We eat dinner at 5:30ish every day, and I'm going to be home for dinner every day. Yeah. I just played Barbies before. I was literally playing Barbies, not just 45 minutes ago. I mean, I was sitting in my living room. So, I think a lot of people struggle with coming up with content for their YouTube channel or their audience. If they're blogging, if they're YouTubing, whatever. So I want to try to get in your head a little bit and see if we can get some tips for some of these people. So either tell us, I don't know if I'm going to ask the right questions to pull out the right information, but I've got some things that are coming up, like do you focus on quantity or quality, or how do you come up with your topics? How do you approach, what have you done that didn't work and now you're doing that's working better? Can you kind of go through some of those lessons for us?
Yeah. So when I first started creating content, I would focus on popular search terms, right? Because YouTube is a search platform, just like Google. So I would focus on like social media marketing or affiliate marketing and creating videos around those keywords. But as the years went by, about 2019, I noticed that those keywords weren't as popular on YouTube. And I had to go a little bit broader, like, make work from home or make money online, which is a little bit more broad. So I create videos on those topics. And I don't reinvent the wheel. I think that's the biggest thing when getting started is like, if you're going to reinvent the wheel, if you feel like every piece of content has to be 100% your invention or your idea, then it's going to take you a whole week to create one video.
Yeah.
So for me, I will create videos that will be just personal, more like of a rant style and personal to me, which those videos never do as well on YouTube. But also a majority of my videos will be more, just providing value, showing people how to make money online.
Yeah.
And I think having a mix of the two is good, because I remember when I talked to you before, I was doing only make money online videos. And then after I talked to you, I was like, man, I do need to throw in those videos I used to do, like just, 10-minute rants about life or success,
pull
or
on
just
the heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah. And I think it's good to do a mix of both.
Yeah.
So when getting started for me, I look at some creators that I enjoy.
Right.
I pick, 3 to 5 creators that I personally enjoy. And I, basically look at their content and kind of make content based around theirs, but with my own spin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, it's like an artist who pulls inspiration from another artist. And, I think that people have a hard time finding that fine line between, oh my gosh, I'm copying somebody and I have to come up with everything on my own and I don't have any ideas and I'm not creative. It's like, for me, people look at me like I'm super creative, or God, I mean, I would, maybe they do. I don't know what people think, but they may think that I come up with all my ideas on my own, but I don't. I mean, I've got huge swipe files. I've got, I actually just bought a copywriting course, and, the dude released his swipe file, and it was like a huge swipe file of tons of sales letters. It's like all the best people are gaining inspiration from looking at other people's stuff and then putting their own spin on that or their own opinion. And honestly, content is really just, if you think about the news, News is just reporting what somebody else did, and oftentimes adding your own opinion. I mean, mainstream media usually either leans to the left or the right, and they add their little kind of angle or frame. They frame the content. You know, it's
Yeah.
still the content. The content is still the content. You can't change the quote, but they put
Right.
a frame around it that makes it align with their beliefs or values. So,
Right.
okay, so what what uh what other things have you learned about creating content that would be useful to somebody, or building an audience that would be useful for somebody? I mean, one of the things that you just said was the rants don't work as much. I think a lot of people, including myself,
Mhm.
it's hard to surrender to really just giving people what they want. Like,
Yeah.
instead of, I've got this brilliant idea for this video and I'm going to
Right.
go and pour my heart and soul and teach this lesson or whatever, and then the video flops, nobody views it, and it's like, that was my best stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, shit, then you put out something that's like, I don't know, showing somebody how to make 2 cents an hour over here, taking surveys or something, and it goes and gets 1 million views, and it's like, what is wrong with people? You know what I mean?
Right.
So can you talk a little bit about like how you've surrendered, or how you've dealt with the idea of giving people what they want, or how you even have figured out, because you work in the make money online niche. I mean,
Yeah.
you're working with it's a very specific niche. It's not, you're clear about that, right? You're clear about
Yeah.
who your audience with, or maybe at least
Yep.
now can you take us, because I mean, obviously this is hitting home. You get what I'm talking about, and I think a lot of people do as well. So can you talk a little bit about what you've learned around that?
Yeah. So my epiphany point was, it was literally, I was so tired one day. I didn't want to film a video. I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to like bust out a video, and I don't care. I'm just going to put it together. It's going to look like crap. And it was basically, it was one of those videos, like make money online type of video. And that ended up being my best performing video on my channel. It literally, on the last, and on the last, the funny part too, on the last 2 minutes, I just put a blank black screen so that I could get it to 10 minutes long, and put my monetization breaks on YouTube. So it was literally my worst video, and it performed my best. And I was like, what is going on here? You know what I mean? Like, it was the worst video I've ever filmed. And it just kind of showed me that, yeah, the longer we sit and think and ponder about, oh, well, it's got to be perfect. There's got to be the perfect clips and pics in there. It never works like that, So I think the biggest thing I learned is just put out the content, put it out every single day and be consistent with it. And also with the make money online stuff, the videos that I'm doing, because I would have some people asking, oh, well, why are you doing videos on how to make $5 on a survey site, right? Seems counterintuitive, but I think those videos connect with a broader audience, because people that are new to marketing, they don't even know what a Facebook ad is. If you go talk about how to install Facebook pixels into your header tags and ClickFunnels, they're not going to have any idea about what you're talking about. But if you show them, here's how you can make a little bit of money on this site, and they actually go and do that, and they make, $5-10, whatever. They made money on the internet. So then it's going to open up their mind to bigger possibilities. And that's when I introduced Legendary,
Can I tell you
So
something that's just mind boggling? And this is sort of a behind the scenes marketing lesson we've learned over the last little while, is that like my story and my content works wonderfully when it's introduced from somebody else who has a more relatable story, because because I just I can create great sales pages, great video sales letters. I mean, that's just something that is like a gift, right? That would be, I would consider that my gift. I can write copy and I can write offers, and maybe my copy has done as good or better than anybody else in the entire make money online niche over the last 8 to 10 years ish. But when it comes to creating ads for cold traffic, that first introduction,
yeah,
it doesn't hit nearly as well as just the brand new dude who's like, yo, I'm just getting started in this,
Yeah.
and I've made like a couple of $100, and this dude over here, I'm going to send you somewhere, and he's going to talk about like, right? Because that initial connection, that initial ad, that initial video is much
Yeah.
more relatable than me telling my story and kind of talking bigger numbers and stuff. And the reason
Yeah.
why I think that's really powerful and relevant for those of you listening who because over the years I cannot tell you how many people have quit, stopped, got frustrated, whatever, because they thought that they didn't have a big enough story, or I wrote a big long email the other day on comparisonitis, which is
Hmm.
looking at other people and comparing yourself and then feeling like you don't have a big enough success story or you're not good enough or who's ever going to listen to you. But the
Right.
truth is, the point that you just made about the masses not even being able to relate to like making $1,000 a day online or whatever. I mean, making $5 a day taking a survey or $5 an hour taking a survey online, like it's believable, right? It's relatable. And
Yep.
so I think the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I just hope that people stop like making such a big deal about their story and their
Yeah.
success, like my success. Because what I know, what I've learned about like watching a lot of you YouTube creators is, and this was one of the things that I meant when I asked you about learning and surrendering to the idea of giving them what they want versus, because the truth is, Ryan, and you tell me if you found this to be true, they really don't even give a shit about you
100%.
in your
100%.
YouTube. Like, you don't have to do this big long introduction. I'm Ryan. I'm successful
Right.
online. I'm full. That just, you get right into the content, show them the strategy, and you don't even have to talk about yourself because they don't even care about you.
Yeah.
They don't care about your success. They don't care about how successful you are. So that's the idea of giving somebody what they want versus this. Oh my God, you know, how can I sound cool? And this was the concept that I talk about in the Attraction Code, which is sort of a personal development product
Yeah.
course. It's about being interested rather than trying to be interesting. But is that something that you have also sort of discovered? Was there a time that you even thought, well, I got to have a big success story, or tried to tell your story and took up the first couple of minutes of the thing versus just get into the content? And was there a difference? Like, what is your experience with what I'm talking about?
Yeah. No, I mean, I can say that I'm making just as much now as when I was a couple years ago, flashing the car or doing, that kind of stuff, because I thought that was the type of marketing that I had to do. And I figured, well, not quickly, but I figured out that that's, like you said, they don't care. People don't care about that. They want to receive the value and then obviously apply that value to their own life. So I think that's kind of where my content has transitioned. Like, I don't show my car. I don't, show fancy vacations or anything like that. Like, I, get straight to the point. I'm on my computer showing my desktop on how to do something online. And that's kind of how my content was when I first started. When I
That
first
took you
started out,
from 0 to 90,000.
yes, when I didn't have any success or any cars or any nice
Right.
things, right? Any luxury. It was just me, computer, and a vision and a dream of like how I'm going to make it happen, right? How I'm going to make enough to just be able to quit my job and, live life. And that's it. Like, honestly, for me, making, 5, 10,000 a month was like my biggest goal. I was just like, if I can make that, I'm good because everything's covered. My rent, my food,
Yeah. And isn't it
and
true?
that,
It's true. And that,
yeah.
but God, I love this, man. I love this conversation because it's so true. Isn't it weird, Ryan, how like those early days, like I look at my early days with anything that I do, and it's always a struggle that I gotta always get back to basics, man. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It's almost like success and things distract us,
Yep.
and sort of, no, now I went and bought a nice car, so now I got to use this in my marketing, and it actually hurts me because I come off as like a douchebag. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I have to use those things. I have to use those things if I'm going to use them. Like if I am going to use them, I have to use them um, tactfully.
Yeah.
I have to use them tactfully. And what I've found is people are much more inspired by me giving back. Like I've used the story of giving my dad the truck or buying my mom a car or buying my dad a house, or like those are more inspirational stories. I think less people are motivated than money by money than we think. Like,
Hmm.
a lot of people are just motivated by freedom. They're motivated by not having to answer to a boss they hate. Those simple things that people can understand versus, and I think that's a powerful lesson in psychology of writing copy and creating content also, is that instead of all future pacing and talking about all these big things that they can't even relate to, talking more about getting at what would it feel like to be able to not have to answer to that boss you hate. That's something that they can actually attach to. They experience that. So that's
Yeah.
they have a visceral like response to that. It's like, oh, the freedom, they dream every day of if telling the guy to, F off, and they can imagine that, right?
Right.
And versus making millions of dollars or driving a car, they can't even imagine what it's like to drive a convertible or a Lambo or a Benz or whatever. Like, sure,
Yeah.
it's a dream, but giving their boss an fu, they can feel that. They know, they've dreamed about that.
Right.
So it's more powerful to talk about that stuff anyways. um
Yeah.
Dude, any final lessons or thoughts that you would leave with people? I mean, you're just moving strategically and you're just doing what I think, and you're doing it quietly. You don't make a big deal about it. I mean, I didn't even know you were doing this. You were doing TikTok. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like you're taking a lot of action. Drake recently came out with a song, and one of the lyrics was, people spend too much time on captions, not enough time on action. And I see people, they're on Facebook all day long. They think that they've got a business because they're like posting stuff on Facebook. Like, and you're
Yep.
just over here creating content very strategically, like zeroed in on a platform. It's very impressive, dude. It's very impressive. And I think there's just a lot to, in terms of that level of focus, I think this would be a good place to kind of end it. What sort of advice would you give to people in terms of developing that focus and trusting that you're going to get results from if you stay consistent with something?
Yeah. I think that a good place to start is every action that you take, is it leading to your business progressing further? Like, are you making moves in your business with every action you take? Posting on Instagram with me and my McLaren is not, that's for my ego, not for my business moving forward. So I think that for me going forward, like what I've been doing is just every piece of action that I'm doing, every piece of content I'm putting out there is to move the business forward and remaining consistent and doing that every single day. Cause I think too many of us, and me included, have fallen into this trap of, I need it now. I need all these things right now. But if you were to just put in consistent daily action for 3 years straight, I guarantee you'll be way light years further than when you first started, and I think that's kind of my mindset now, long term, 10, 20, 25 years, just consistently doing action. And I know that at the end of those 20 years, man, I'll look back and be like, wow, I'm glad I stuck with it. So I think just taking daily consistent action and make sure everything you're doing is actually moving your business forward.
So what are your goals now? I mean, you've got what many people are striving for. You've got consistent, good income online. You've got
Yeah.
momentum with the content. You've now in a place to where many people would look up to you and say, this guy's an expert. This guy's got what I'm looking for. So now that you're there,
Mhm.
you've arrived in many people's eyes. You haven't. I know
Yeah.
you haven't. But anyways, what are you striving for? Do you have big goals, or do you have goals just to stay consistent? I'm just curious. What are the things that you're striving for right now?
I think I I had to go back to kind of, I guess that's a good question, kind of like why did I start all this? And for me, it's it's financial freedom for my wife and I, because we want to start a family. I think we'll probably have kids in the next year or two. And that's kind of something that I personally want. I want financial freedom for my family, and, having an awesome career that I enjoy, that I wake up every morning, I'm excited about. And I think those are the important things to me, not becoming a billionaire or creating some, and that might be for some other people, but for me, it's like financial freedom, being able to give back to others, being able to teach people how to get out of the crappy place that maybe they're in, that I was once in, and just how to get out of that. And that's kind of like what inspires me to put out the content and teach people, so, and just being consistent.
Well, if you want to, and I'll just throw this out here, you can take the meat and leave the bones. What I have realized that's given me a bigger purpose in my sort of career here, instead of just focusing on cash flow and focusing on making money, is I look at my business as a provider, a capital provider for back-end investments.
Yeah.
And what I've done over the past few years is begin to buy rental properties. And my wife and I have a goal of owning 30 houses. And even if each one of those houses put out $1,500 a month in rent and we own them all outright, that would be $45,000 a month in rent. That would be, in plus the assets, the worth of the homes, right? Which would potentially be something that we would pass on to our kids. But even if you did a house a year, even if you bought a house a year, which at your income level, you could buy a house or two or three a year.
Yeah.
Even if you bought a house a year and you did this for the next 20 years, right? Just creating content, what better thing? I mean, people talk about retirement. It's like we're already really half retired in terms of we don't have to go anywhere. We're just at home creating content. I don't see myself ever wanting to stop doing that. But if you did that for, say, the next 20, even 30 years, and you bought one per year, this is doable for anybody. Anybody can do this. So that's something. And my wife and I are already well on our way there. We're well on our way in terms of those investments. We've also begin to fund a portfolio in the stock market, and then we've also got whole life insurance policies, which are another investment strategy. So my point is that for somebody like yourself, and even somebody who's just getting started, it really broadened my, when it really made me feel like I was accomplishing more, like what I was doing was bigger than just trying to be an internet marketer and bring in cash and make money and all this. When I really connected, for me, it was connecting with my wife and saying, okay, what can we do together? Like, what do we want?
Yeah.
What are our goals? And let's actually plan. Let's make an investment plan together, okay? And let's strive. Like, I know my role. I'm going to continue to do marketing. I love it. It happens to bring in good money. And my wife happened to be really good in terms of researching and remodeling and all that kind of stuff, which we don't really buy anything and remodel it. We just buy them already remodeled because we just want it to be totally passive. But we found a perfect little way to work together. A perfect way for us both to stay in our lane, but also to work together on something for ourselves, our retirement, our future. And I don't know if that fits, if that's useful to you. I haven't talked about it a lot, but it's been a game changer for my wife and I. And it's been a game changer for me as well.
No, for sure. My wife and I, we bought our first rental property in 2018. So, and we have and that's obviously that's the back end. That's something I don't talk about too often, but building this stock portfolio, passive income there, dividends, right?
Yeah.
Appreciation, and then the rental portfolios, which is the greatest tax write-off, as you know. So.
Well, I think a lot of people get into this one-track mind or think that multiple streams of income means that I need to be doing multiple businesses. But
Oh yeah,
for
one
me,
business.
yeah, one business. Sure, if I'm an affiliate marketer, for example, I might have multiple affiliate streams, whatever, but I've got one primary focus, and that's bringing in cash flow from
Right.
this one action, this one model, this one thing that I'm doing, this one niche, this one. And I'm not saying people can't get into different niches and stuff. We teach affiliate
Right.
marketing by finding clickbank products and stuff, and you kill the winners, you kill the losers, or you scale the winners. But my point is that I'm not trying to do a million things, but then I'm building this actual back end investment portfolio.
Right.
So now my streams of income are beginning to build up, and it just, when you make that transition, doesn't matter if you guys are only making $500, $1,000 a month. I mean, you can begin to put away money,
Right.
and you can begin to build a future for yourself that doesn't just feel like I'm making money to put in my bank so I can look at the number. And I
Yeah.
thought you made a good point, which was when you mentioned the word ego and posting content. I learned early in this game you can either feed your ego or you can feed your bank account, but you really can't feed both.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, it's 100%.
And every time I started to try to get into ego marketing or do stuff for my ego, I made zero money. Like, I literally, in some cases, lost money. I mean, it never works. So, dude,
Yeah.
tons of nuggets. You're awesome,
Yep.
bro. I'm so
I
glad we
appreciate it.
did this, man, and I'm looking forward to working together for many years to come. And keep up the great work, dude. And thanks for being on the show, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
All right, dude. I'm gonna let you go and wrap up here.
Okay. Take care.
I'll talk with you later.
Okay.
All right, see you, buddy.
Bye.
All right, my friends. Wow, powerful stuff. It just goes to show people are out there just doing their thing. There's a lot of what I like to call quiet storms, and these are the people that are typically doing the most. They're getting the most results. They're getting the biggest. They're having the biggest impact. They're making the most money with their business, and they're just in their lane. They're just doing their thing. And there's a lot of people who are noisy. They're loud. They think that, being on Facebook all day, and that was the thing that I mentioned about being on Facebook. Just because you're on Facebook and you're doing busy work, you're chatting or whatever, you're commenting, you're making posts, it doesn't mean that you're moving your business forward. So my hope for you guys after this interview today is that you'll get more focused with what you're doing, and get more focused on the clients that you're serving, and get more focused on how you can serve them better, on figuring out exactly what they want to hear. And it's not about just telling people what they want to hear, but if you want to make money, if you want to be in business, if you want to attract people, if you want to be of value in the marketplace, you got to give people what they want. You got to give people solutions to their problems. And I mean, Ryan's strategy is just very simply putting out content on YouTube and now TikTok, giving people exactly what they want. Not about him, not about what he wants, but what they want. And in the make money internet marketing niche, people are looking to make income online. Doesn't need to be thousands of dollars or millions. They're looking to make $5 here, $20 here, $50 here, and that's the kind of content that he's putting out. Just sharing a screen, not making it about him, sharing a screen, giving people tips, giving people ideas, sending, and then saying, hey, at the end of his content, this is my number one recommendation, or you can go do what I just showed you, or here's what I recommend, and sending people to an affiliate product. You could do the same thing if you're selling your own courses or coaching. The point is that you figure out who you're serving. You figure out what their pains are. What do they want in life? You figure out what their problems are. And you just focus every single day of your life, every waking hour, especially in the beginning, about how can I solve their problems. I'm not going to worry about how I can monetize it right now. I'm not going to worry about how I can, become a millionaire, have a successful business right out of the gate. I'm going to figure out how can I solve their problems? How can I learn their language? How can I learn the conversation that's going on in their head? How can I figure out the things that are keeping them up at night? And when you really learn your customer, when you really learn what they're struggling with, when you really figure out what their problems are, when you really get people consuming your content, and that's why YouTube and these platforms are so great, because you get to For free, test out your content. For free, figure out if you really know your customer or if you don't. For free, you get to do that. You don't even have to pay ads to do that. For free, you get to test your marketing message on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram if you want, on a blog. But these platforms like YouTube or TikTok, instantly, you get to test your message and evolve your message. And then from that, you get to then go clarify your marketing. If you're selling your own course or program, you can then build out your sales funnel. You can figure out what you want to offer them. But the first thing that you got to do is you got to work on your messaging. You got to work on getting to know your customer. You got to work on taking that initial action, that first, 3 to 6 months. I'm going to just work on clarifying my message and figuring out what do these people want. And I'm going to give away all my best stuff. Because if you give away all your best stuff and you build that audience and that following, it doesn't matter if the stuff that you sell is as good or you even repackage the same stuff you've been giving away for free and you sell it. It doesn't matter because people look at you and they say, God, he's giving me so much value for free, or she's giving me so much value for free. I can't imagine what's behind the paid wall. Or I just feel so indebted. I mean, now a lot of these content creators are creating Patreon accounts because it's just like, and people feel indebted. They just say, hey, your content is so great, I want to send you $5 or $20 a month, right? So great interview today with Ryan. I want to thank him again for being on. Tomorrow we've got a great guest. I believe we've got Ace Reddy coming on. He's a e-com and Facebook ads badass guru. So we'll see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern time, just like every weekday, Monday through Friday. This is Dave Sharpe signing out. Be legendary. I'll see you tomorrow.